Can't believe I did all that last minute rushing and still forgot to turn it on again. um, oh well. In any case, hello again, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Amy. I'm the developer of Shanghai Architect / Freedom Planet Academy. We'll be using the editor, Shanghai Architect, to work on content for the Freedom Planet Academy campaign today, and this is the 4th stage of the game. I'm hoping to finish it this month, but there are still some things I'm not happy with, so we'll be revisiting some parts of Stage 4's map layout, just kind of reviewing everything, and then getting back to the final parts of the layout. Just had lunch, y'all, sorry. And that should be the extent of what I do, but if I see any bugs or whatnot on the way, we'll stop and look at the code directly and see about addressing them. And so yeah, let's get started on that today. Remove this. Like, I realized I wasn't happy with this arrangement down here originally. Like, it feels good to, run down a halfway pipe and all, but just felt like that was like too cramped. In Freedom Planet, you kind of need a lot of room to move around. So I've reworked this part at the beginning to have like a spring tunnel, and then this much nicer looking introduction to the pulley gimmick. Now I'm hoping that where is my brain today? Like, I'm hoping this will be a good introduction to one of the stage's gimmicks. And I recently realized the pulley ropes could also be very useful for helping the player jump from one to the next, because like, this can be like a guiding rope leading you down to one or the other. I thought some water running would be fun to do. Then still a lot of thinking to do, I believe. So yeah, we'll have like some water running, like we're just going through a quick dam. Then then maybe a rail grinding section connecting this area to this one. That's one useful thing about rail grinding, if you have like two disparate locations you need to connect. Sometimes rail grinding helps a lot. And it's fun. Everyone loves to rail grind. Also, I guess we'll get some music started for the stream, because again, I like to listen to music while I'm streaming. Guess we'll play this album today, because I am in quite the monkey mood. Yeah, that's something about real life rail grinding, yes. Yeah, I would love to do that in real life myself, but I'm finally of the age where my overall skeleton would not appreciate me making mistakes while rail grinding, so that dream will simply have to be unfulfilled for my own personal safety. That's what video games are for, at least. You can be the daring, spontaneous acrobat all you want in a video game. Worst thing you'll feel is a little bit of embarrassment if it doesn't work out. Anything beats, a trip to the ER. Yeah, that might be a little too loud now. Oh yeah, that's one of the non-starters for VR for a lot of people is, or at least room scale VR. It'd be fun to do things like that, but not everyone has the space for it. Like the room in my previous place where I lived, like the room was so tiny I just had enough room for all the relevant furniture and that was about it. There was just no way I could have done room scale VR in there. Then, we had a loop going down. That would be fun. I need to remember next time we not to accidentally fall asleep and take a nap just 30 minutes before, and wake up just 30 minutes before the stream. My voice clarity would be a lot better. Especially in regards to lunch. So, put this down here. Oh, definitely. Like I remember like Dawn on Twitter like posted a chart of all of the mucus-producing foods you not want to avoid. You need to record your voice or be in a live event and whatnot. And there's quite a few foods that trigger mucus production, turns out. Trying to keep this geometrically interesting. Then we have oh, wrong thing. We have this. Yeah, I think this one's going to be a little tough. Alternatively, could be cheeky, yeah. So yeah, let's do that. And as for the Donkey Kong Country 2 album, like I've just been in such a big mood for that game lately. And other interesting thing, Sabrina herself really likes the Donkey Kong games, and naturally I think that also influenced the way Freedom Planet's levels were designed. For instance, like if you look at the way gems are scattered throughout levels, they basically follow the same philosophy that Donkey Kong does, compared to Mario. In Mario, you see lots of groups of 3 coins everywhere, so you have something to jump and reach for, like things of interest while you're running over flat surfaces. And then you've got, Donkey Kong, where like bananas are placed throughout the stage to like guide you along recommended paths or points of interest. Like say, there's a hidden barrel over there, and you jump towards the banana, you'll find the barrel. Like bananas are just kind of like little guiding stones or pieces of candy or breadcrumb trails, however you prefer to think of it. That's like they even use them to like suggest like here's a good point to do a roll jump, Like, it really helps guide you around the stage, and Freedom Planet's gem placement follows that philosophy, and I try to as well. I was originally placing them in like a Mario style, and it was definitely more clunky that way because like you'd have to stop while you're running to jump to pick them up, and it's very disruptive to the way you play Freedom Planet. Because every time you jump, you know, you're resetting your horizontal movement, and that's not great when you're trying to preserve your speed and go fast. It's a big oops, you know. Also, I'm not worried about the cleanliness of these tiles, because like, when you're rail grinding, there's like no scenario where you can like pan the camera into a position where you can see a lot of how these disparate sections can connect to each other. Oh Lord, I'm sorry to hear that, Alice Dance. It'd probably help if I was speaking up. I just didn't realize the music swelled enough to drown me out of it. And there isn't a difference between the colors. rails, like it's just to help them fit into certain locations. I guess I'll have to go lower. I wish there was a way to like check this stuff live. I really do. Well, you're better spoken for than I am in that regard. I just kind of get perpetually frustrated with these things, like I'm kicking down the Easy Bake Oven. If anybody remembers that one part of the Casper movie, where a cat's just like kicking the resurrection machine like it's an Easy Bake Oven. Just, you know, those things didn't work either. I see some dancing gremlins. Go. And let's move that down to the GPU tab. Yeah, those licking emotes never get old. So, well, how to a little discrepancy to deal with. Whole 8 pixel gap. Alternatively, do this. Like there's braces holding this down. I'm not like super hung up on like the realism, like cartoon animal shenanigans, unless it breaks believability too much. Somebody probably look at that and be like, wait, huh? Who would try to hold this rock up? Like who? Okay, you know what? Better idea. Okay, first let's check. Okay, now Lilac can't go through it. Like there would need to be at least a 15 pixel gap for it to go through. Wiki modes are fun. I have trouble finding a good context for them anyway, because like, you know, how dirty people get with those things. It's so frustrating. Although I am forgetting, you know, Plankton lick emote would probably be very appropriate because everyone would immediately understand. You know, that's a reference to the time he ripped up the sign for the Krusty Krab like a lollipop and started licking on it, and simply said, "Lick, lick." Dear Lord, that was so cursed. They knew what they were doing. There we go. Wait, just... Yeah, just because there's like two completely different areas I'm having to marry here, so... Oh. Oh, Argo. And hello, by the way. It's good to see you today. And, oh, yeah, that's right. Advanced. No, that's what we're gonna do. This little loop over here. Well, I certainly wouldn't. At the same time, though, this is the internet. They're like, so it could be more innocent than it seems on the surface, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I do get it. Like, there's still not too many contexts where I've seen the internet be weirder than I've seen real life, you know, but I do work in a hospital, so. Also, now I realize I put the notes in the wrong place, so. That's correct. Well, VR chat does exist, but also, I've seen things happen in real life that would not be safe to describe in the chat room. I mean, in a Twitch setting. It would definitely get me in trouble. So it's like, I don't know where the bar is here. Like, whew, it's, you know, never count out the human species. We find interesting ways to be weird. Aw. You did, Argo. You just made it silly. Like, and that particular emote doesn't really have any dirty connotations to it, I believe. Yeah, just, Dusky is simply Dusky. Oh, well, okay. Need to rethink this setup just a tiny bit. Yeah, loops are unfortunately very complicated. I think Lapper might be one of the few people to ever actually make it a simple affair. Like, and Shago Architect's whole collision system is very, it's very old-fashioned, so it's hard to make it do more modern things. And like, you know, Lapper's Sonic Studio, for instance, is using like vector-based collisions with all its own custom auto-tiling rules and everything. Like, it's a very interesting arrangement. I hope it's performant enough for most people. Then with this thing, you know, it's it's all tile-based with all of the antique problems that come with it. I do have many regrets about that arrangement. Because, you know, if I'd used like Damascene's collision system from the start, you know, there's a lot of things that just wouldn't be an issue. Like, I would even be able to allow people to rotate flat surface tiles and do funny things with them. Like, y'all wouldn't know Gremlin stage layouts until you saw what that thing allowed for. There we go. And the crate's there to stop people from, like, overshooting a platforming section, but, you know, people who are familiar with the layout could also, like, destroy the crate. So they can just keep going faster through the stage. Well, there's still some hope for Sonic Studio. Like, Lapper is now not the only one testing it, for instance. Like, he's finally got it in testing, so we'll see if we do see it for real at some point. Like, I'm really hoping for it. Like, it looks like the only fan game to truly tackle the question, like, how could you really make a Sonic game maker, stage maker game? Like, and I think it very intuitively shows that can be done if, like, it's not simple enough for a 3-year-old to pick it up, but if anyone's like even just a tiny bit familiar with Photoshop, they're immediately going to look at that interface like, I'm going to do so many curse things with this. Like, the flexibility it allows for is kind of inspiring, really. I do look forward to that. And that's also good to hear as well for Sonic Utopia. Let's see. Let me think. You know, if I would clear my throat more often, I'd probably have some of the clarity that I wish I did. So we have some decorative connectors. Now I need to figure out what to put here so people can't just like simply jump down and skip all of this. Like, you want people to have fun, but you can't let them trivialize the fun to the point that it's no longer fun for them, ironically. And yes, I've certainly heard that opinion. And I don't think it's entirely wrong. I feel like it probably helps people live out the dream of what it would be like if you could just grab the controller during the opening intro of Sonic CD and you were playing it, you know, like that's what a lot of people dreamed of Sonic being like in 3D. At least, that's what I can tell anyway. Like, and that's definitely a tall order to achieve. It takes a lot of imagination and like very deep mechanical thinking, I believe, to achieve that. Oh, that's right. I'm gonna need the grassy version of this. I can't wait to make the auto tiling brush for this fan game. It would make little things like corner cases, like literal corner cases, so much easier. Because you could just drag a brush over what you want drawn and it'll do it for you. That would be so nice. Yeah, that's one thing that looks neat about Utopia. I can't remember if I ever tried it myself. I just or even watched footage of it. I may have just seen screenshots. Like, there's so many fan games out there, it's kind of hard to remember to stop and play all the demos. It's just kind of incredible what Sage drowns us in each year. Like, it makes me happy to see that, you know, the good stuff at least is still able to get all the traffic it could ask for. Just put some grass here. And then, yeah, I need to figure out what to do with this little platforming section now that this isn't as accessible as it used to be. So we need a new route for it. Which means this section will probably need to like come down. Just a tip. Make some platforming to go up there. And just to be clear, I don't mind like Sonic talk on streams because, you know, it's kind of, if you're working on Freedom Planet, talking about Freedom Planet, it's gonna come up. It's just natural. Oh, much like music, Argo. Yeah, this is what I like to work to. Then we have this. Then, oh. Some dirt. Blow this up a bit. Oh, whoops. Really do need corner pieces for this part of the tile set as well. It'd save a lot of steps. It's one of those things I learned about making tile sets is that you can kind of do whatever you want with like wall tiles, but the moment you need to make a surface tile, like something that the player's going to walk on, you kind of need to be committed to that. You need like a lot of accompanying wall pieces that can connect to it cleanly. You need all variations of slope tiles that will come with it. You know, things like that, just to have all those nice clean connections. Like this tile set from Shangding Academy, like it's very flexible in that regard, because like most of the surface tiles, you know, they're 24 by 24, and so are all the loop pieces, so everything just connects elegantly. You can just make whatever you want. That's what I need to follow with any tile set I make. I tried to with the sewer tile set at least. For the most part. There were some things I failed to consider. But you'll notice the pipes, you know, they all connect in this way. Oh! Nope. Of course I did that to myself. This was overlapping with the node controlling the tile masks for the rail grinding piece. Yeah. Oh yeah, it definitely helped fill in some gaps. Thankfully it wasn't a catastrophic crash, y'all, so I didn't lose anything. Oh, definitely. But as you could probably see just before the crash, I did make one mistake with the slope tiles. Like, there's a reason, like, loop pieces are made to have, like, the light, like, be, like, the surface is lit on both sides normally. That's normally what you want. You don't want to have, like, one side being dark and one side being light. Because then you've got to have, like, alternative versions of each, and that's very tedious to shade. It's much more economical to, you know, again, just have the darkness be on the inside and the light be on the outside. You don't need 30 different versions of all of your slope tiles like I did for the city, for instance. And because I didn't know this trick right away, has to be a light and a dark version. This, and it's just as obtuse to deal with as you can imagine on the back end. I'm still happy to have your tank as a boss as well. Still pretty funny. And these are the loot pieces that Alistance helped with, by the way. Like, he made like this intersection with the hatching and all. What I was going to do originally was a lot more gremlin than that. It's pretty nice just having a solid thing like this. And, well, tile set lesson over. Let's, get back to making the level. Just wanted to demonstrate that I've, yeah, I tend to remember a lot of things that people have done for me, because, like, I do think the time that people give me is quite precious. So, when people do things for me, it's hard to forget. And make sure everybody's credited for it too, because with like volunteer projects like this, especially, it's especially heinous. You don't even give them credit because it's all they're gonna get, as Pixie once told me. Aww. I think I would probably forget what all I do for other projects as well. Like, you would think, with the hours, we spend working on things for other people, like, we'd have a very lucid memory of what we did, but not always. Especially, once it's been like 5 or 6 years. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I know that must be frustrating. Well, at least we could get with anything is credit, Just go ahead and remove that. That'll be confusing. So. We can have these acting as stalactites instead. I feel like everybody should certainly mind that more. It's nice having one less emotional squibble with ourselves, but on the other, it's like, if we don't advocate for ourselves, no one else will, really. Yeah, there's probably nothing you can do in retroactively, but with like future things we work on, it probably be a good thing to care about. At least I think so. So, I think, okay. Had to deal with that. And then, that would not be an appropriate place for a tree. That we can have. It's always interesting when the things we make still have a life beyond ourselves, I think. Like, that's one of the big appeals of memes, is like when you start a joke and now everyone is in on it. Like, and it grows and germinates into its own thing sometimes, even. Like, there are some old games that basically get a second lease on life just because of the memes around them. And yes, this is what Akuyo did recently. The boost gems now have their own unique appearance thanks to Akuyo designing them. Kind of look like corn. And then Leaf animated it. Isn't it pretty? Then, yeah, so that's going to be fun to use now. Like, even colorblind or color deficient players will be able to distinguish them from the regular gems. That's very important. Because, you know, you'd be surprised there's even some Sonic fan game developers who are like partially colorblind, but they still made a fan game anyway. And some people complained about the colors, and it's like, well, it's not like they could help that. It's interesting. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, because background tiles can be an art in itself to do correctly. And some people would rather not do background tiles. Like, getting all that stuff to tile is very tedious. Like, I know some Sonic ROM hackers who really didn't want to do that themselves. I tried helping out one person with like a Genesis style bridge zone tile set, but I never could get the sloped tiles to cleanly connect the checker patterns of the flat ones. It was like, it was such a brain teaser, y'all. Let me tell you. Never figured it out. So, yeah, that's why I kind of do like a more natural, or somewhat more natural, approach with my tiles for things. Natural patterns are just easier to work with, because, you know, it can be just as messy as their real life counterparts. Nature just does what it wants within the you know, the natural laws that apply to it. It doesn't care. If a tree is gonna sprout through your house, it's just gonna. Doesn't care if it has to twist sideways 30 different ways. You know, that would be interesting to see, honestly. I think. Let's give people more than one way to get up here. There. Now nobody can miss the fact that there is a secret path. I love damage boosting. Oh! Oh, there we go. Yeah, I don't think I've seen any promotional art of the original NES game, honestly. Would be interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting thing they could be referencing, for sure. I've never even known that. Was this like Japanese promotional art or American by chance? Like, I assume Japanese, because, like, yeah, that's what they had direct creative control over. Whereas, as you've explained to me before, like, the, manual artists for, the West just had to make do with what they could get. They did not get all the memos, sadly. We probably take for granted, like, the place that localization is in now. Okay, there's still a good chance of this being overshot, so I'll fix that. Yeah, if somebody's going fast enough, like, there's no way they're gonna connect to the rails. There we go, we got it. I remember you talking about the Western interpretations of the sprites in Zelda 2. Yeah, it's always fascinating to me just how what different things we can see inside pixel art, kind of like ink blots. Yeah, just like what would look like a horseman minotaur creature would probably be like a scorpion to somebody else, Like, even as a kid, I made those mistakes with sprites. Like, I thought A Link to the Past Link sprites thought he was a mouse as a kid, until I looked at the manual. I was like, oh, this is supposed to represent a human. Oh Lord. More opportunities for goodies, I think, will be welcome. And a little tree. That ought to do. Yeah, this should be more fun than the section that was here originally. Yeah, Zelda 2 is quite a different animal compared to the rest of the series, wasn't it? Like, even the enemies were kind of alien to the rest of the series, even. Like, it was just such a different game. Yeah, gotta have some destructible rocks. You got to. Like, excuse me, it's just fun to break these things. Oh, that's interesting. And I do love the lizards in later games, like Breath of the Wild especially made them fun to fight. They're such goofy, wiggly goofers in Breath of the Wild. I don't love the electric Lizalfos though, they're frustrating. I don't often keep any elixirs handy for electricity, so not fun. It wouldn't surprise me if that were the case as well. Because if there's one thing that's consistent about Zelda, if it appears in one game, it might return again in a different form in some other games. Like, the Rita bird people from the Wind Waker, like, that finally came back again, and Breath of the Wild, for instance. And I don't think there's any truly unused ideas in Zelda. Just get rid of that. This here? You know, that would be kind of funny if, you know, the females could magically set things on fire. Like, that would be kind of cute. Maybe there are some pyromancers among them, we just don't see them. We'll just use some inconvenient spike placements to discourage players from accidentally backtracking. Like, no, these are the danger triangles. You don't want to go over there. Oh yeah, I've been seeing that remake make the rounds recently. I don't know if it's any good myself, I haven't tried it. Oh, I didn't know it had a second quest, too. I think the reason I didn't download it is like maybe I feared that it would probably go a little too hard on the combat, because that's one thing I've kind of noticed with you know, certain fan remakes, they just push the envelope a little bit too much in that regard. Like, I do love me some good, satisfying combat, but like when it comes to platformers, at least, I don't appreciate them having like too much mechanical complexity when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. Like Freedom Planet 1's about like my limit when it comes to that stuff. Just it's 3D games where I'm like more comfortable with lots of deep mechanical complexity for hand-to-hand combat. It just feels like the third dimension allows the experience to have the flexibility that it needs to be fun and allow you to carve out your own path. Okay, now that is a bit silly, I'll say. Probably a little bit more extreme than Shantae starting you off with 2 hearts in Pirate's Curse. Which was certainly different from the template, but you know, you can live with that for a hot minute. You can. Heart magic is being Well, I mean, if you're going to expand the content of the original game, that's one way to keep the balancing progression about the same towards the end. I'm guessing. Oh, of course, those rascals got stuck. There we go. That's an interesting choice, I'll say. Like, I would probably have to see how that works up close, but at least on paper that doesn't sound bad. Wonder if that will do it. Okay, now for the important thing with this path is we gotta have gems littered around it. As per the previous discussion with like Donkey Kong's bananas, like in Freedom Planet we've got to spread gems around in Donkey Kong style and encourage the player to pick them up that way. So, let's do that. Just little pieces of candy to entice the eye. This is how we activate the neurons of players. Ooh, shiny crystal. That's what we do. Now, fast travel, at least I'll say, does sound nice for that game, because oh boy, the overworld can be a little brutal. Like, I do like Zelda 2, despite it being so different from the first game. But, one thing I don't miss is just how mean those randomized battles can be. Oh, I figured it would be bigger. Guess you had to keep the fan game remake really low key for Nintendo not to go hard on it, but keeping the NES aesthetic probably helped. Because, you know, a lot of people are not going to go out of their way to play that like they would if it was like, you know, a more modern pixel art take on the game. That looks good enough to be official anyway. Well, we can't tease people with what could be up there without having something up there. Sometimes it's nice just to have a row of gems to go into. Oh, that's a neat trick. Just you know, having the enemies be attracted towards some meat being placed. So that's a pretty clever solution. Instead of like repel like in Pokemon, just to put some meat down. But I am forgetting that like the battles aren't like completely random. Like you can't physically avoid them. I forgot about that. It's a small mercy that I wished most JRPGs did. Like just, I don't like being stopped to battle without knowing why that was the case. Like, it almost has like that invisible maze of logic to me, and nobody loves invisible mazes. I don't know why we could bring ourselves to love, you know, invisible enemy battle logic. Just the way I place that spike here just kind of makes so occasionally you get damage boosted through the ring. That's kind of funny. Let me just get rid of that. I think that will be the friendlier option. Okay, now to place some little crystals. And no, my fellow Southerners, I don't mean the burgers. The gems. I'm so fickle about how everything is placed. Like I'm checking the feng shui of just simple things. But, you know, I suppose it's like, you know, I don't want anything I put down to look haphazardly placed anyway. Unless that's the point of certain item placements. Oh, that's okay. And then, yes, and that will be kosher with our collision system. Or should, at least. Yeah, that should do it. Oh, you know, that depends. Like, what words were you invoking? Because, like, some time ago I did set up, like, some auto filters. So, like, there are certain words that are being filtered now, just a precaution. But I made sure to, like, only go after, like, you know, very specific slurs and whatnot. But there are a couple of really vague slurs that are just normal words under most contexts, so maybe there's, like, a mostly normal word that was in your message that got auto-deleted. That's... Well, that's interesting. It gives me a little bit of Dark Souls vibes in that, you know, your XP can also be your currency. Somebody must have really had a thing for Dark Souls. Okay, I can look at my phone real quick to see like the exact text, because I do want to be sure that our word filters for Twitch aren't too extreme. Wait a minute. After the stream, I need to double check if I didn't just put the word actually in that filter just to be funny. I think I did. I am so sorry. You can say all these heinous things, but you can't be like, well, actually. What is wrong with me? Because there are a lot of perfectly normal contexts for that. It's just, you can't really control, yeah, pretty much, Argo. The mansplain filter. Like, I shouldn't be trying to control for that too hard. Because, you know, there's a lot of mansplainers who don't use that language anyway. If they catch on, they'll find other ways of doing their thing. That's human nature. You tell them not to draw genitals in a video game, they will find a very convoluted way to get past whatever clever algorithm you came up with. Don't just... Nerdy chortle. I don't think I know what a chortle would sound like in real life. Okay, no, that can't be collected easily, so no. Can't have that. What other goodies can we have on this new path that I've created? Could loot the position of some of the goodies. Just now somebody felt like trying that. Oh, I forgot. Like, there's a little system that will have items and certain enemies be destroyed if the player spawns inside of them. I had noticed like some time ago that FP2 had a similar system, and I was like, you know, that's a pretty clever idea. I'm gonna borrow that for the fan game. Just borrow it. So like if you were in a scenario where you spawned inside some crates, you know, instead of the crates crushing you and killing you, the crate just dies. Oh. Hello. I haven't heard hello in like forever. It's definitely been a while. Okay, this is one instance where it would be appropriate to place a group of 3 gems, but because of the scenery, it would be a little cluttered. So, no, we can put it here instead. Yes. Well, it does sound neat, I'll say. I feel like it's rare that you can have too many upgrade swords in a Zelda game. It adds a lot of nice things to the sense of progression. Like, I remember in Twilight Princess, like, really wishing we could have, like, 3 swords to upgrade through, like Ocarina of Time. It was still cool that you could always like choose between the Ordon and Master Sword, but you know, there was a tiny little monkey inside of me that was like, oh, but I want 3 big sticks to choose from. Just yeah. Now, granted, I don't think there would have been any place in the story for that, so yeah, just probably for the best that it's not there. I remember for years there was like the rumor of like the mirror shield. I mean, the mirror sword. I knew it was like fake immediately, but it didn't stop certain people from hunting it down anyway. No, I do appreciate like boss patterns changing depending on difficulty. Like it's really cool when you feel like a boss has like a very complete pattern. When you fight it on normal, then you go to hard and it has like more moves that it's throwing at. Just like, oh, this is getting fun, you know. Like, I just love that. And we'll be doing that to some extent with this fan game too. Like, there are certain moves that some of the bosses will only execute on hard and above. Like, you know, for instance, the bouncer, he doesn't try to body slam you from behind. Unless you're above normal, for instance. Okay, this path feels very complete now. Maybe you just need to add 1 enemy up here. Just 1. Which means I'll need to get rid of this because of the clutter. Let me put this little guy down here. Just love the turret, just such an iconic enemy. A perfect little goober. Who, despite their simplicity, is incredible at aiming. Oh, that does sound interesting. Like, throwing maces. Oh wait, yeah, this will be a problem if the player goes down here and sees this gap in the tile set. Yeah, there we go. That should look a lot better. Let's review the rest of the level for like any little discrepancies. One thing I do know is I added like 2 mini crystal gems to certain parts of it. There's been enough time since I last made a stage that I'd forgotten, like, no, you don't spam this many everywhere. Like, it's a bit much. So this many gems here make sense at least, because you gotta be able to convince, like, guide the player, like, oh hey, there is a neat little pattern you can follow. So we have all this. Yes, that's right. And I remembered to put the rope pulleys down here. And this section up here is a little different. So let's some stalactites. We have some more spikes. It's like the minute I realized we're not in the beginner half of the game, I was like, ooh, spikes. 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 Just dropping spikes everywhere like a kid with an infinite lava bucket in Minecraft. Just lava. Lava. Going crazy with it. That'll be good. There's not much reason to come up here, so this is mostly for decorative purposes. People who do know how to fly with the characters. And yeah, that's good. Now, there's a lot of gaps here because, like, you know, these layouts are optimized around what the player can see from their camera perspective. So, like, there's a... It's going to look really patchy between two disconnected parts of the stage, for instance. Oh yeah, and this is like too many gems here. You don't need that many. That's all I do. That would be a very appropriate emote right now if we had some emotes. If anyone remembers that little monkey from Freedom Planet 2. Probably one of my favorite new characters in that game, honestly. Just I know there's some people who just scream how much they hate him, but I'm over here like, I'm a cute little monkey. I like cute little monkey. Yep. Blanky blanky. I love putting enemies on springs. It's just a funny thing. An interaction that neither official game needed, but I did it just because it would be funny. It's like, you know, let's allow people to make some really cursed layouts with this. Also, I think I'm satisfied with this map now, so let's go ahead and get it imported into the game. So... Oh yes. I think, yeah, that's a good point. You know, Mario Maker 2 allows for all kinds of insane layouts as well. Channeling some of that energy would be such a bad thing. So we'll be replacing this map. Okay, now that's the sandbox for the development environment. Now let's go to included files, campaign, and replace this inside the source package. It's a bit of a two-step process for me. It's kind of why I have like shortcuts that's inside the project folder, so I don't have to like click too much for a lot of things. And there's the error from yesterday. Oh, yeah, of course it was the undo scripts that caused the issue. Of course it was. I really need to, like, make the undo script actually do stuff. It's just undoing is shockingly very hard to make work. Even just one undo level is very gigabrain to retroactively add. Like, y'all don't even know. Where's map 2 in this mess? Oh, map 2's in here somewhere. We also need to import it. It's probably under a very obtuse file name. That happens a lot to me. So go to maps. Let me go open this again. Where is it? I'm going to bet it's this map. Oh yeah, that's right. This was the original map 1. It was, because yeah, like I originally wanted it to start here. Then I realized, no, this isn't a great start to the stage, so I decided to make this map 2. You'd start here. Then Carol's like, hey, no cheating. Oh, little rascal. Yeah, I mostly wanted to review this map because, like, there's not anything major I wanted to change, just some things I wanted to check for. Okay, there's another thing I forgot with, like, way Donkey Kong handles, like, little divots in the ground. Like, say there's just, like, a little pit that you can fall into and jump out of. They would, like, put a bunch of bananas in there. And here I thought to fill this crevice with gems in a similar way, but I didn't think of it. Like, there's some pits in map 1 I could fill with gems later like that. Like, that would be fun that way. Like, if you fall in one of those little divots, at least you get something out of it. That's just to, like, help people find this extra path for more goodies. Just gonna double check if this works. So. Oh yeah, like the camera boundaries are working correctly. You're good. trying to remember what my hang-ups were, though. There's Mila, just laughing, having a good time. Little baby puppy. Hmm. Hmm. Sometimes you just look over something you put together and you're like, dear God, what were all the thought processes that went into me doing this? Just sometimes you forget you even did any of this. There we go. Carol. And then just trying to remember what my hang-ups about this map even were. It's been so long. But we do have some tile usage to optimize. Like, just look at all this stuff we're not using here. Okay, no, we do in fact need this because, like, this terrain is just exactly 1 pixel above the plane of the camera here, so unfortunate. But we can get rid of the rest. Yeah, and because of the way I set up the respawn planes, you can't see the camera here, so we can also get rid of this. Because the seek ahead camera in the fan game, it's like you can only optimize so much. It's like if you go too many tiles into a wall, like the seek ahead camera will be able to see those gaps. Of course I threw Spade in there because yes, that's funny. Okay, probably too many gems. You know, things kids say to each other. There's little Carrie. Unfortunately, the bridge only responds to the player, so our feet are just going through it right now. boy, yeah, this is like not a great place for these gems here. Oh yeah, I think there was like, no wait, I'm thinking of the hub that has a few mapping issues, yeah, so not looking for anything of that sort. Because I know there was like a couple of flat surface tiles in the hub that were not solid. Like, oops. That will be an issue. Oh yes. Hmm. We have like too many here anyway. That'd be a problem for potato computers. Like, you never want visual clutter to start with, but it's good to consider performance issues as well. Just good game developer things. Oh, I wonder if I can get rid of these too. How far can we look down? About that far. Ooh. Yeah. And how far would Lilac be able to see here? Yeah, no, can't get rid of those. Just because of Lilac in particular. Her Dragon Boost lets her activate the Seek Ahead system early, so yeah, it creates problems. I wonder if being able to see. Oh, interesting. Player's not even able to see that far down. So, should be able to get rid of that. Wait, no. Yes, you can see. I have a solution. Because you can just see one tile. There we go. I can delete as many as I want. Let's make sure that that's our maximum visibility. It's just good to occasionally trim the fat with stages so that the map files load quicker. Sorry, y'all, I'm a little sleepy today. So, had such a crazy week. Like, dear Lord, got food poisoning twice. Went to the ER. Almost realized I almost got like, what's the exact word I'm looking for here? Like jaundice, but the kind that like blocks stuff. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Obstructive jaundice. Almost got it. I got to the ER in time before that became a real issue. Ugh. I would not wish that abdominal pain on anyone, so development was kind of slow today. I mean, this week. So, yeah, just looking forward to getting the stage done. Really looking forward to it. How far can you look down? Oh, yeah. 3 is justified. But we can't go that far down, so. And because the stagger factor, we can't crouch down there too easily. You can only crouch below 45 degrees. So we can't see this thing I just deleted. We can't see it. Okay, we can see that though. That's an issue. Just don't have to worry about being able to see this one. And we can delete extras below that line. There we go. That'll do. And you can't see that far down because like you're constantly going to get poked by this. So you're not going to be allowed to see. And there's no invincibility flower here, so. Oh, I remember one thing I completely forgot about with the stage. Carol's gas cans. Now that's what I was forgetting. That's a big issue, wouldn't y'all say? Just, well, Carol's gotta have a gas can. Okay, we'll just make it easy in this case. It'd be good to place more of them throughout the stage too, so. That way, you know, if the player gets off of it and realizes they want it again, well, just good to have more places, so. Oh, that's kind of a cute idea. One by Carol. Now, one thing I could do is like put the gas can here, then pick up Carol, put her off to the side a little bit, so that way when you're running through the stage as Carol, you get the gas can instead of her chaser NPC. There we go. That's a cute idea. Well, that'd be a much better thing to put there. Oh, smudge my glasses. Hate doing that. So, I love this particular track as well. Like, like the Hive is such a great environment in the game. I found a great way to elevate it. Yeah. So I'll just put this here for Carol. Or for Mila if she wants to pick up this thing and throw it at the bats. Few things are more cleansing than, you know, a volatile fluid. Then, well. So, just this over here for Carol. Yeah, Leo forgot all about this thing, so we're going to have to go back to map 1 and add these as well. Because asking Carol players to wait like a whole minute to get their gas can is kind of mean. Oh, yeah, and I have a rock that says, "Hi, I'm Paul." Just to throw off anybody who explores it. Because that's funny. Okay, we're not done optimizing yet either. But I'm pretty sure, like, the camera is still not great at, like, seeing above your head still, so there's a lot of wiggle room to vector visibility here. Oh, whoops, no, we do need that here, so. Then, just be sure there aren't any duplicate tiles behind that one. Yeah, we can need to keep that, unfortunately. Then, wait, no, can't get rid of that. It's just within range of the camera. Oh. Then, yeah, I think we can get rid of these at least. Make sure visibility, like we can't see that, so. Yeah, no, we can't see that third row that I just deleted. Now, I don't think anybody could get an invincible flower to last long enough to get to this point, so we can just do that too. Hmm. Now, 3 of those. Okay, you can't go down there, so get rid of this. Hmm. Okay, visibility is like no good there either, so. Now, honestly, can we even see the grass tile down there? Yes, that's where our visibility stops. Isn't a whole lot to optimize for this particular stage, looks like. Let's check. Okay. Yeah, how much of this can we really see as well? Well, no, unfortunately, gotta keep those. But there is a lot of excess over here that is definitely not going to be seen, so. Like, I'm just going to put those down indiscriminately originally, so. See how far down we can look. Only 3. Be lucky if we can see more than that from this perspective as well. So. Yeah, it's a miracle just to even see that, so. So that should be good. And oh, that's right, and the camera limits being able to see this as well, so don't need that there either. Just gonna keep that there for a corner piece, corner case rather. I think I'll just like get rid of this entirely. You know, just removing excess tiles to make the map file smaller. That's what I'm doing. That way it loads faster. Like, I really don't need this here. Like, no, I'm not having loading issues on my computer. It's just like, this is for low-end computers. Like, adjusting the extent of the... Like, basically, if I can keep the map files under 512 kilobytes or so, like, the stage will load faster for low-end computers. That's It's just a nice thing to do, I think. Okay, so player's not really in a position to see higher than that. Good. And this is like the thing you mostly only do if you're creatively satisfied with the layout. If you're creatively satisfied with your layout, then it's okay to do this, but until you're sure you want to keep something, it's a lot of extra work for no gain if you're just optimizing as you go. Just try to make your level fun and functional first, and then decorate it, etc., etc. So you can see down to this point, not here. There we go. I think I'm done optimizing it now. Let's oh yeah, before I do the map replace thing, let's go back to this map file and put down some gas cans. You cannot forget that for Carol. You're not a Freedom Planet fan if you only think about just one of the characters in this kind of context. So, yeah. No, it's too mean. Put it right here. Carrie, why are you transparent? What the heck? What's going on with you? Not what I wanted you to do, Carrie. Guessing it's a bug in the NPC system. It should be fine when I load it in normally. Are the other runaway NPCs also doing this? No, Lilac's not doing it. Let's go back to our gas can pass. So. Ooh, more cool to have up there, probably. Wait. Oh, this looks better there. Hmm. Hmm. Put it here. It's a bit too cluttered. But it takes center stage there. I think that ought to do it. Let's see if carry works in like player mode. This map file. That is a very curious bug. What happened to carry in particular? That I don't get it. What happened? I didn't edit the object at all in recent memory. Doesn't make sense. Let's make sure the other actors aren't messed up in some way. Okay, Lilac's fine. Carol's fine. Wait a minute. Carol's on her bike for some reason here. Spade's fine. Okay, we got a conundrum. Carol's on her bike by default when she shouldn't be. And Carrie is a ghost. Okay, let's not worry about that yet. The NPC is spawning correctly with the correct text, but something is wrong here. So, okay, but in any case, let's go ahead and copy the two map files again. Go. Oh, yeah, optimized it quite a bit. It's well under the 500 kilobyte mark now. So, while map 1 is a little bit above it, but it should be okay. Okay, so that one's optimized. And check again. Yeah, it's more recent. So yeah, let's see what's wrong with Harry. So non-player characters. Okay, so event inherited. So yeah, that's why the tail is drawing correctly. So what's going on here that would make her go invisible? Interesting. So only the ghost is drawing for some reason, but not everything else. She's got the correct running parent. Why is their main sprite not drawing? Well, I'm not sure yet is the thing. Carrie. Well, it's not just, well, her tails, they're just fine. It's like her normal sprite is not drawing. Like the, only the ghost is drawing for some reason. Not really sure what's going on there. And it would destroy itself outside the editor, so. I'm really confused as to how that could break. Well, let's just try spawning her in a fresh map. Well, that's the thing. I already checked all the obvious stuff. It's something more sneaky than that. The main body is not drawing. Only the ghost is. The ghost is half transparency. I'm just gonna try putting her in, like, in a fresh map. Because maybe there's some sneaky gremlins causing it. Okay. Everybody's fine now. Okay. Yeah, I figured something was up. So something changed when I put down a gas can. Okay, so now there isn't anything wrong. But for some reason in the map file, she's just decidedly ghostly. Hmm. Oh my god, that would be so funny. And we do in fact have the oh my god emote now. Oh, people would love that. I need to put that on the to-do list. Carol. Wait, easy. Just a gag object. Now let's check the map. Okay, yep, she's back. I didn't have to do anything. I'm guessing something happened during the editing session, and the game was like, okay, we're just gonna mess up the NPCs today. It's gonna be tricky to sort that one out. An insidious little gremlin that doesn't want to play nice. So these map files are fine. Let's move on to map 3, to the stage. Which I think I may have optimized. There we go. Yep, and Carrie's okay here too. A cheat code might be too mean. It'd probably be more fun if it was just like, you know, in the gimmicks section somewhere, just not advertised, and you try it and you're like, oh, what's the big deal about this version of Carol? And then you try it and it's like, oh no, it's this thing again. Yeah, so. There we go. I'll leave it like that. Let's try and remember what the discrepancy would be with this one, if any. I think I mostly just had issues with map 1 and 2, but this one's also missing gas cans, so it's here we go. Leave the scenery tile so the gas can stands out more. Yeah, it's like an advanced trick with the way the water's set up. Then we have Hmm. I want to get rid of this because I couldn't find a use for the cube spawner, or generator rather. People will just wonder, like, oh, I wonder how that's going to be used later in the stage, and it won't be used, and they'll just be like, what the fuck? Oh no, I let one out. I try my best. Oh, the Twitch administration team is coming after me now. I do prefer to have professional language, no matter what I'm doing. Just today, I'm compromised. Oh, yeah, we could have the pulley be used here too. Here we go. That'll do it. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to delete the whole thing. Just wanted to delete the pulley wheel. Okay, that's normal. I think that's the only instance of that pulley appearing. Yes. A little hard on this connector. Here we go. Have these two connected to each other. There we go. Oh yeah, and I did forget to put one of these here. Oh, I'd say I had more to add than remove in this case. be okay to trim this at least. And that one should be just out of range of the view. Okay, now for all the little things that I added to this map, it should be about the same size or slightly smaller. Here we go. There's some low-hanging fruits. That. Oh yeah, there's a whole lot here I don't need. Right, that should do it. Check how far we can see with this. You can't even get over there.
Hey!
Oh, same person. Like, I have Mario Maker 2 on Switch, as well as the first one on 3DS. I've played the sequel much more because it has like a story campaign. Yeah, the toilets are now fully functioning objects. I decided it only made sense that way. Because, you know, this is Freedom Planet, you know, they're like being silly like that. There we go. Yeah, for me, I didn't get the first one until like years and years later, so like the sequel was my first exposure to it, and I've got a few levels made with it. Not many, because like, as cool as it is, it's like, you know, it's really sad that I can't really share my levels with most of my friends. Like, most of my friends are on PC, you know, PlayStation. Like, not all of them have a Switch or even Switch Online, so getting people to try my stages was very disheartening. Because it's like, oh, I got a Switch, lol. Sorry, friends. So it's like, darn, if I want to make stages people can play with and give me feedback on Tafty with Mega Man Maker. So, yeah, but I did like still use it for some teething issues I had with stage design, and Yamamura's dojo was like super helpful with stage design. Because like there was a lot of level designing concepts I'd never even thought of until I played Super Mario Maker 2. It was still very useful for learning the ropes of like how to structure a level and how to make it fun to play. But I gained a lot from that. So even while the editor itself was little more than a novel toy, because most of my friends couldn't actually play my levels, what I learned from it was just I can't put a price on what I learned from that tool. Like the people behind Mario Maker really know what they're doing. I have a lot of respect for that. It's kind of fun to try like non-standard Mario levels too, but a lot of them tend, like, you really have to know what you're doing to break the template of Mario, I think. And Super Mario Maker 2's single-player levels are really good at doing that, like just going above and beyond what you normally expect of Mario in new and interesting ways. I really did appreciate what they did with it. Okay, this ought to be optimized enough. Well, let's open map 4. Oh Lord. I need to copy this new version of the map. Map 3. Well, I did make it smaller at least. That's good to see. I would need to find more ways to make it smaller though. Still a bit chunky. Now let's go back to the campaign folder map. Oops, wrong folder. Okay, that should do it. Okay, now we're working on the final map again. I feel that, Alice Dance. There are certain games that are like really fun to 100%, and others that just burn you out so hard you never want to do it again. This is kind of sad. Like, I would never 100% Metroid Prime for as much as I love it. Like, just the effort you have to go through to 100% that is such a deep and personal torture I would not wish on anyone. Like, just, no, I'm good. Like, it would just ruin the game for me if I did that, even. You know, then there are games that are short enough that 100%ing them isn't so, you know, such a slog. Yeah, that's like the worst part for me. It's like so punishing to get it all right. Like, I love Metroid Prime. Like, I think it's one of the best shooters ever made. Like, I sincerely believe that, but I just don't find the 100% grind appealing. I just don't. Well, that's pretty smart, at least. Wish the originals had done that. You know, letting you restart the game and keep your scans from the prior playthrough. Wonder if the remaster's doing that. Oh yes, now we're here again. Yeah, it does have a VR mode, but it's a lot more demanding than just, you know, using VR for a native 3D app. From what I understand. Like years ago, somebody tried playing Mario Kart Wii in VR and it was like very slow. Like, you would need a monster of a computer to deal with that one. But maybe, like, you'd probably need a good computer just to play Metroid Prime at a decent clip anyway. Like, my old desktop, like, it was good enough to deal with Dark Souls 3 at the full frame rate, but Metroid Prime 1 stuttered like crazy. So I was like really happy to have the remaster on Switch because it was like visually upgraded to be like, you know, if it had been made for the Xbox 360 era instead. And it was gorgeous and ran at full speed even on the dock. It's wonderful. So that's mostly how I've been playing it. So you need like a good processor and probably an even better graphics card just to run the game normally at a good clip, let alone in VR. Well, that's exciting. I'm sure you're probably going to feel like you jumped 10 years in the future when you upgrade. That's how I felt when I got this laptop, at least. I was like, dear God, I had no idea what I was missing with like new processor technology, among other things. I really wasn't. Just, oh yeah, having a processor that wasn't made in 2010. Wow, just the things I've missed. It's also why I didn't used to stream very much, because like my computer could just barely do it. And it would run pretty hot as well, so it just wasn't fun. Oh yeah, this is like that one stage where you're underwater inside the pirate ship. if that's what you're thinking of. Yeah, it's just probably for the best that SLI never took off, honestly, because I've seen people like have like, you know, an array of like 4 graphics cards and one of them would burn out in a year, and it's like, you know, why would you buy that much power and then, you know, use that power like you think you can, just abusing the heck out of it, and then it's like, oh no, my graphics cards are still dying like flies now. What the heck? We would just have graveyards of graphics cards, I think, if if that became the norm for whatever crazy reason. Like, I'm honestly glad it didn't take off. Just, dear God, no. It's better just to have like one dedicated graphics board that has all these chips on it. Just oh Lord. And yeah, we do. I remember like seeing some graphics cards even from like Mass Effect 1's era. Like it was being marketed as being able to play Mass Effect 1 full speed, and it was already probably as long as 2 bricks. It's pretty big. It would have made like my old desktop tower tip over if I had installed it. It was just so massive. Yeah, so yeah, Cinder Block's pretty accurate. And yeah, I forgot about Crossfire. It's been too long. I just remember seeing those cursed setups and being like, God, this is just awful. Like, such an obnoxious waste of graphical power. And yeah, you definitely need dedicated graphics for VR. Like, integrated could do it to some degree, but not an ideal way, I think. You know, for instance, 90 hertz being like the standard for virtual reality, because motion sickness is much more common at 60 hertz or below. You know, just so much to consider. Didn't even realize it was 5:30 already. Wow, it's easy to forget how much time you can lose to just working on level design. Also, I think the album's definitely looping at this point, so switch it over a bit. Speaking of Metroid, but this album, if since we're in a creepy cave, how about some creepy Metroid music? I'm somewhat satisfied with this water area, somewhat. Wish I could have made it longer. But I'm not dedicated enough to like make an entire water level that occasionally reconnects to the main path. That's it's a lot of work. And this particular map file can't be too long anyway. It can't be as big as the other maps. Because well, like, just, like, at this point, people are really going to want to fight the boss, so, yeah, I gotta let him fight. Oh, that would make me sick too. That sounds really, really bizarre to behold. Like an acid trip without the acid, probably. Like that, I definitely wouldn't be able to handle that myself. Oh, this again. I really need to change how the water running conditions work. That's going to be a real issue. Not for this area in particular, because, like, yeah, there is a water height adjuster for this, so. But in general, that's really going to limit the kinds of layouts I can make. And besides that, I can't make the level too much longer than this. Like, it's already going to be a long level, and I've noticed, like, people are very mixed about Freedom Planet stages being, like, of 7 minutes or longer. So, it was I try to make a compromise. Like, yeah, if if a casual could, like, run through a stage anywhere from, like, 5 to 10 minutes, that's not too bad, I think. But I still made a Toxic Tunnel, like, several minutes long anyway. That's just how it ended up being. And yeah, that sounds about right. You would have to be very well adjusted to VR to be comfortable with that. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. 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 Oh yeah, I could see motion sickness being a very per person thing. Hmm. Yeah, I just don't know if I'm. I've heard there's some other headsets as well that are they're even better than the Quest for a similar price range. I just can't remember what it's called. Memory's too fuzzy, but there's a lot of options now. Yeah, the Pico, that's what I heard of. Yes. That's what I hear some people swear by, at least. I just don't know if I'm ready for VR. I've got a laptop, I could certainly do it now, but I don't know, it's not ready for the head strap at all. Like, it'll mess with my hair, sweating gross. I'd basically be limited to playing VR on days where I know I'm going to wash my hair soon, so among other things. And there isn't that much compelling software outside of VR chat yet still. My ability to do room scale stuff is like very limited too. I'm also scared of running into things, so it's well, I just oh yeah, I have seen that as well. The see-through camera. And I've also still seen people run into stuff anyway, so it's like, just don't know yet. That's good to hear at least. Like, I feel like part of the reason innovation for VR is still so stifled is because the access to the hardware is still not as affordable as it could be for a lot of people. So we don't have enough mind share on the matter to really innovate on what the technology would allow for. The more people you can get to cracking VR's problems and creating compelling software, the better, I think. Just that's still a big issue. And people do complain about like the battery on the Quest and things like that as well. So it's still the technology and the development space is still very much a work in progress. Oh, that's good to hear. I think my only concern with a second-hand headset is that I'd have to have some assurance that it was cleaned properly, because there are all kinds of really disgusting eye infections that I'm aware of out there, and last thing I'd want is like, oh look, I saved $200 on VR. Too bad that's the last thing I'm ever gonna see, because I just got a bad infection and went blind, you know? Like, that would scare, like, no, I will not touch that with a 10-foot pole. You cannot make me buy a used VR set. Like, no, it's just incredibly stupid. You are trusting the other person with your eye health way too much. Oh yeah, that's definitely a good idea. I just, you know, there are some microorganisms even NASA can't clean off their rovers, let alone what we can do with hydrogen peroxide. I don't, yeah, you're probably fine. I just like, I would rather die than go blind, so I'm not taking that chance. Just no. I can't do it. Like, if I absolutely had no other choice, I would probably leave, like, most of the hardware soaked in, like, hydrogen peroxide and bleach for weeks. Just weeks. You know? It would be a long time before I actually would feel comfortable, like, touching it. Like, I'd probably need germicide too, because, like, you know, I work as a housekeeper in a hospital, so, like, I know of a lot of cleaning, industrial grade cleaning solutions for these kind of things. Like, you know, I've cleaned rooms with active AIDS after a patient with active AIDS had been in there, like a case of AIDS that was still active. So going in there with masks and other equipment and washing the walls down with hydrogen peroxide and bleach wipes attached to a mop, things like that. Just being very, very thorough. So, yeah, I know too much when it comes to what could possibly be on those goggles. Okay. I don't know, just I guess right now just not like so fixated on VR that, you know, I'd have to experience it right now. I just I'd be perfectly okay with Google Cardboard if I had like a decent wireless controller that my phone would cooperate with. But the most I could play with on my phone and Google Cardboard is like anything that could only use one button. The only wireless controllers I have that can interact with my phone is, you know, D-pad doesn't want to work, so it's like, well, just, well, oh well. I'm sure if I really wanted to, I probably could solve that problem. It's just, yeah. Mostly just trying to catch up with normal video games. Like, it made me just a little sad that it took me almost 2 months to beat Penny, you know. Just and Penny's Big Breakaway is a good game, y'all. I'd love to stream it sometime if I get a chance. Need space gaming, I like that. It's pretty accurate. Yeah, it's definitely not a game for everyone. Like, even if you completely disregard, you know, what people say about the character designs and all, like, the game is mechanically, like, everything I've missed from, like, the wacky PS1, Sega Saturn era of 3D mascot platformers, so I'm pretty satisfied with it, but that's definitely not going to be for everyone. Like, it's like the classic games in that, you know, it expects you to learn how to play it. It's not like, you know, working with your preconceived expectations from other 3D platformers and trying to innovate around that in little ways. It's very much unapologetically being itself. And again, I'll love it for that, but it's definitely not going to be for everyone. I think I'd like to stream it at some point at least, because I think it would be fun for people to watch and maybe even figure out like how to play it on its own terms. Because I feel like the game gets a lot less frustrating when you understand how it works. Like, you know, for instance, you know, Penny can basically hop in the air twice. You throw out the yo-yo and then do the A button hop, like, and that makes a lot of platforming jumps so much easier, but that's not very intuitive. Most people probably won't even know that's a thing she can do. I'd like to show that among other things on the stream at some point. Show people what Penny can do. Yeah, it's definitely not quite like Sonic. It's more like a skateboarding game than Sonic, and it really shows. Like, because you know you do have half pipes, but you don't go through loops. Like, it does have something like a spin dash, but that's more of a quality of life thing than that you absolutely need. Like, I'd say it has more in common with like the aesthetic of like the original stuff that Mania did. Like, you know, the 3D special stages in Sonic Mania were just amazing. They were so imaginative. I was like, I'd really love to see what Evening Star could do with an original game like that's this wacky, and we finally got it, I think. Like, the environments are very imaginative once you get past like the first stage, I think. I think they succeeded at not being like Sonic, at least. It's like, you could tell like there's a very strong passion for like oh yeah, that would explain lack of loop-de-loops. I don't think Penny would be able to do that elegantly anyway, but that's probably a purposeful design choice, mechanically speaking. Oh, yeah, that's okay. My stream's about to end soon anyway. Like, I try to end them around like 5 or 6, so you're good, Alice Dance. I hope you enjoy those other streams. We've all got our obligations. Like, even, yeah, bye. Yes. Like, even what I'm doing here is mostly kind of an obligation to my patrons, more or less, like showing my development process to a broader range of potential Freedom Planet fans outside the range of like most of the regular communities that I'm in. Like, you know, there are lots of people that like Freedom Planet, and they're not all on the Galaxy Trail Discord, so I try to reach out to them by streaming on Twitch. And I do occasionally get some people who fit into that category. Like, just, you know, they like Freedom Planet, but they don't engage directly with the Galaxy Trail community. So I've got some followers who are just here just as casual FP fans. That's pretty nice, I would say. Like, I'm glad you think so. Like, I'm trying very hard to make it a game that, like, people could compare to the official ones. Like, and it does get compared a lot, but I want, like, the overall package to feel like you know, it earns its place inside the canon, even as an unofficial thing. That just comes from a place of simply caring about what I do. You know, if I'm going to spend half a decade making a game, I want it to be special. Like, like, if you're going to spend that long making anything, it should feel like a main event to experience. So it takes a lot of attention to detail and passion to get there. Oh yeah, that's right, the Rivals of Aether mods are getting pretty good. I especially like seeing that, like, somebody managed to make all original sprites for Nira. So she fits pretty well into the aesthetic of the game now. And that's really cool, I think. Like, just don't count out Freedom Planet fans. They're a creative bunch. I'm not the only one out here making stuff. Probably still the only one making a fan game of the scope. Like, there have been other fan games, but they unfortunately got on hiatus, more or less. Because, you know, making something like this is really hard. Like, I would even dare say that, you know, make, like, a game like Freedom Planet is almost unsustainable to make in the indie space. Like, it's just, the scope of everything it needs to succeed is, like, just, it's insane. It's insane to achieve that. So it's just kind of a miracle that we're looking at 2 official video games right now, really. It really is. You know, as Proto said on the launch stream for Freedom Planet 2, he said, you know, this game shouldn't exist, and he's right in more ways than several. Like, it's just kind of a miracle that game got out the door. Especially being, you know, literally almost twice as big as the original. That's unimaginably massive. And like, in what I'm doing, it's going to be shorter than Freedom Planet 1, and it's still taking so long to do, just because, like, we've got, you know, 6 playable characters, and oops, I will say. And these girls are very hard to recreate, and this editor was an enormous task in itself. So this boutique piece of software was quite a challenge to make, you know. Just a Freedom Planet maker is an even taller order than a Sonic maker, I dare say, just because, like, all the things you have to account for. Freedom Planet's mechanical and combat complexity really starts to creep into everything you need to do for this sort of thing. Yeah, we do have too many cats, I'll say. Like, we got Carol, Carrie, Chiasa, and at least mechanically speaking, they're just clones of Carol. So coding-wise, they weren't too much trouble. It was just like all the sprite work that took a while. And I only really regret Chiasa in some way because like it was a massive undertaking between me and Leaf, and ended up taking a lot more time than I thought it would, and the collective response to Carrie was like, "Why didn't you give us Torque? God damn it! What's wrong with you?" Just so nobody cares. Like, yeah, I'm real proud of character design, and I'm gonna probably use her for some original games, and I think that's where that character will shine. But here, it's like, no, nobody wanted that character. Not really. They wanted Torque. And I guess it's fair, because, like, Freedom Planet 1 didn't just have one canceled DLC, it had 2. And people were still mad. I mean, the extent of that anger is unreasonable, honestly, but like, it's just kind of indicative of just how I guess you could say mercenary this industry is. Like, quitters don't get to eat. So if you announce something, you really need to commit to it, or it's just going to follow you around forever. Be known as that person who doesn't finish things. It'll bite you. Well, I'm glad you care about her. It's just, but overwhelmingly the response is just, no, nobody wanted a third cat. Carrie at least had the intrigue of being a lost beta character, so of course there was interest around the character. It was like, Ray the Squirrel in Mania showing up for the first time in like a platformer game. Like, everybody was like all excited about that. Like, oh my god, lost character, we finally have our boy again, Everybody felt that way about Carrie too. Like, look at this cute little abandoned kitty cat, just everybody still prefers Carol at the end of the day, I think, but just having that lost character, it's special in its own way. But Chiasa is just like this, nobody asked for this, basically. And on one hand, it's kind of nice when video games do a lot of things you didn't ask for but are kind of cool in their own right. Yeah. Oh yeah, like, Sabrina did give out refunds to people who had specifically backed Freedom Planet for those stretch goals for the DLCs. And yeah, there were some limitations with ClickTeam Fusion that, like, would not have made it impossible to finish the DLCs, but just made it uneconomical to keep going, basically. Like, Freedom Planet 2 was in tow, and these DLCs were free. Like, they weren't even going to make Sabrina any money. Like, the writing was on the wall from the Plague Knight DLC for Shovel Knight. Like, that free DLC was amazing. I think it had, like, the best writing of any platformer. Like, any love story I've ever seen in a platformer is just the best one, hands down. Like, it is such a thoughtfully crafted experience, but it did not push more sales of the main game. It didn't. So, yeah, it just didn't seem like an economical thing to go for when it was going to take so much suffering to get the thing finished, and then it probably wouldn't increase sales all that much. Although I think in retrospect it probably would have increased sales a bit, because there were lots of people who really wanted to play as a boy in Freedom Planet setting. A lot of people. Like, you know, all the hardcore people who love playing these brutally hard video games, they just want to play as guys. They don't want to play as these squeaky little girls, you know. Like, I love them, but they don't. So, like, there's a lot of, you know, hardcore gamers that Freedom Planet simply leaves on the table because, like, they just very decidedly don't want to give you a male character to play as. You know? Just, I mean, when you really think about it, it's like, oh, shit, you know, like, sorry, maybe, you know, playable Spade would have been a good thing for the game's long-term shelf life, probably. Just, at the time, it just, didn't seem like that would be the case, so it just wasn't done. It's kind of one reason why, like, for my next game project, I will have, like, one playable male character at least. Like, the leading lady is going to be the leading lady, no doubt, but there will be a male character too, so that people who aggressively don't either identify with females or don't want to play as them will at least have that option, you know? Like, and I will go out of my way to make sure the character is not a squeaky type of girl as well, so that people who don't get overly fixated on the gender of their character could still enjoy the character. But it's important to have both, I think. Especially in a time where we have an oversaturation with like female protagonists, that we gotta make. I think it behooves us to make them as compelling as we can help it. And yeah. Like, yeah, Argo, I can kind of see that, because I'm real fickle when it comes to the gender of the character. When I play video games, like, if they're not like super macho presenting, like, I will not care what gender they are. Like, Link is a good boy, I love him no matter what. I would 100% love, like, you know, a female option, that would be great, but like, I'm not mad about it or anything. It's just like, you know, he's a good boy, I love him. You know, like, he's cute, and if the character is cute, that's what I go for. If they're like real macho and manly and got a beard and stuff, and like, no, I don't care how good that game is, I am not touching with a 10-foot pole. That's just not how I identify, and not what I'm comfortable with, you know, just, so, like, I will not touch The Witcher, for instance. You know, like, Gerard, I think, he looks pretty cool, but, no. I would not enjoy staring at him for 1,000 hours, no. No, thank you. Just, no, thank you. You know, whereas with a lot of, like, classic video games, you know, like, you know, Zelda, Earthworm Jim, you know, Rystar and Sonic, you know, like, all our characters are predominantly boys, but they're still cute, so I love them anyway. Like, and who doesn't love Tails? He is such a baby, you know, he's such a good character. And, yeah, and Earthworm Jim is just kind of like macho in like a very purposely goofy way, so he's like just really charming. Smooth face. The smooth face really helps, though. Just, yeah, and the game more or less presents him. You know, he's just a good, lovable guy, just trying to win the heart of the princess. Doesn't succeed, but he's trying. Oh, got so lost in conversation I didn't notice that. Yes, we are now we're now over time. Let's see, so I guess I'll end the stream here, and we'll continue this on Discord, on the Shangmu Architect Discord. Like typically, what I do on Tuesdays is I start the stream more or less like on here on Twitch, so like more people get a public glimpse into how the game is developing. Then I take it on Discord where people can like voice chat with me directly, and while I'm still working on the game. And it's kind of a great way to engage with the community and also get some more ideas too. Obviously that's optional for y'all who just prefer to simply watch the public streams, but that's an option if y'all want to follow us on the Shangmu Architect Discord. I'm very adamant about not making all of the game's content like a Discord exclusive thing, like, so that's why the Twitch streams are a thing. So these 3-hour streams are for y'all to give y'all an insight on how the game is developing and how it looks under the hood, etc., etc. Then on Discord, people just have the perk of being able to engage with me directly in voice. But if you're only comfortable in text anyway, well, lose nothing being here. So yeah. And with that, I think that should conclude the stream. I appreciate y'all coming today, and I hope you have a good afternoon. Let's do this again.